Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Gun Nut channel. It's another great day to be an American. Let freedom reign. Today, I'm super excited to show you guys my next project. So I decided it's time to upgrade this Ruger 1022. And I have the parts that I'm going to use initially, and there might be a few other things I add a little bit later on. What really drove this was wanting to have one of these, which is a threaded barrel, so that I could put a suppressor on it. I have a suppressor on the way eventually for 22s, and I thought that it would be nice to have a rifle host for it in addition to the pistol host that I have. So I'm going to walk through each of these items, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it together and show you guys the end result. I'm not going to show you how I do it because I believe that YouTube policy does not allow that. I've never done a Ruger 1022 project, but I believe that it's going to be fairly straightforward with not too much difficulty, that the barrel is pretty easy to put in, just a couple bolts holding on the clamp that clamps the barrel to the action, and the trigger is just held in by some pins. So, like I said, I'll take a quick look here at what I got, and then go ahead and show you the end result. So as I mentioned, this was really kind of the catalyst for doing this build. I picked up this barrel from Optics Planet actually, and it is a Shaw custom barrel in 22 long rifle, and it is threaded for a 1/2x28. Warning, on fire rounds may not always eject. So it is fluted. They do a spiral fluted one too, which I was thinking of getting, but they were sold out, and it said back in stock in like 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't feel like waiting. It came in this really fancy packaging, basically just wrapped in some brown paper here. And this is the tag that was on it. Once I decided I was going to go with a bull barrel, obviously I have to get a different stock. And I really wanted to get something from Hogue because I do like the rubber overmold. And this is called their OM series soft rubber overmolded 1022 tactical thumb hole rifle stock. And there's another tag there. I forget what color, ghillie green, just like the ghillie suits, I guess. So it's kind of a camouflage green. They give you some instructions there on how to install it. Let's go ahead and take it out of the package. This is what it looks like. And it feels really good in the hand. I'm going to like this thing, I think. Butt pad there, not soft rubber or anything. It is a 22 we're talking about. It does have your sling attach, the old traditional style, hunting style, if you will. There's what the inside looks like. I'm hoping everything drops in nicely and I don't have to do any modifications. But if I do, then you know, there's always the Dremel. Has that molded in checkering. Oh yeah, that grip feels great. Hand fits in there nicely. Yeah, this is going to be nice. Really feels quality. Yeah, looking forward to getting that on the gun. And last but not least, I did pick up the BX trigger. It's too bad they don't just ship all the guns with this. So the big advantage of this trigger is a lighter trigger pull, and it's supposed to be 2.5 to 3 pounds. I believe the standard trigger is closer to 5 or maybe even a little bit more. Maybe I'll do a before and after measurement and we'll see what our trigger pull is coming in at. Might as well get out the trusty trigger gauge while I got the gun handy. Coming in at looks like a little over 4 pounds, 4 1/4 maybe. Let's try it again. It's not quite as high as I thought it was. Which is always good. Of course, I did grab it kind of towards the bottom. Grab it a little bit more in the middle, and we're right at 4 1/2. So we're kind of in that 4 1/4, 4 1/2 pound range with the stock trigger. All right, let's go ahead and do this build and come back and show you the end result. Well, guys, I just finished up this Ruger 1022 upgrade build, at least with the parts that I have on hand right now. So I will say it was not flawless. I ran into 2 major issues that slowed me down. I thought this build would take about an hour or less. Ended up being almost 2 hours, about an hour 45 minutes. The problem I ran into was the barrel, the original barrel, which was, you know, the light profile blued barrel. That thing was stuck in there pretty darn good. You see these videos, people taking them apart, they just undo the bolts on the clamp, they kind of just slide out. Well, that was certainly not the case. First I tried a dowel, tapping it out, I couldn't get it to budge. I had seen somebody else posted a video when I was researching how to do this project about heating it up. So I heated up the barrel and receiver joint a bit with a heat gun. I just tried moving it by hand like he did. Maybe I didn't heat it up enough, but once I got the dowel on it after the heat, I was able to tap it out easily. So that was issue number one. Issue number two is the stock screw. So I had a hard time getting the stock to line up with the action in order to get the screw in. It appeared that the action, I couldn't get it back far enough. Something was preventing it from going back to line up the screw. It was barely off. I don't know if this was the right thing to do, but that the screw where the hole where the screw goes into the stock was a little bit on the small side. I just bumped it up a little bit. It was actually the same side drill, so I just removed some of the excess material, and then I was just barely able to get that screw to go in. Really liking the look of this Hogue stock. Fits in here really nice. It's definitely not going anywhere. The stock to action fit was very good. There you can see underneath. Also the fit, everything was fit very good, but like I said, it was a little tight. I put in the BX trigger, and you know, I did have the pins fall out once, of course, because it seems to always happen when you're messing around with rigger triggers. Came together really nice. I do have a pick rail that I'm going to be ordering a pick rail for it. I do want to put a different optic on. Let's do that, check that trigger pull. Looks like it's coming in on that one just under 2.5 pounds. It says it's rated at 2.5 to 3 pounds, so that's about what I would have expected. It's about a pound and a half less than the stock trigger as I tested it previously. Let's go up a little bit higher on the trigger, and we're getting just a little over 2.5 pounds. So we'll call that a 2.5 pound trigger. Yeah, that feels good. All right, let's get her out to the range. Make sure hopefully I don't blow my face off, and report back on the results. Well guys, I just got back from the range trying out my upgraded Ruger 1022. I'm gonna call it the Suppressor host. And I really like the way this gun feels in the hand. Although it's a little bit front end heavy, it's not bad. Offhand, you notice a little bit more, obviously, than if you support your left arm, if you're a right-hander. I just shot it at a small indoor range to check functionality. And I will admit that functionality was a little bit of a shit show. I originally shot this Agia 22 rifle match competition. This is what I brought to the range today. Unfortunately, this is all I brought, and it just did not function very good in this gun. I had a lot of I had failures to extract. I had jams, failures to feed, pretty much any kind of malfunction I had, and I rarely got through more than 7 or 8 shots in a row. Sometimes it was shot after shot, so I got some work to do there. Not sure if it's something. I know this is a target barrel, a match chamber, so I'm sure that's the majority of the problem. I wish I would have brought some other ammo to try to see if maybe it was just the fit of this ammo to this gun was just too tight. Maybe once I throw a suppressor on it, I get a little bit of back pressure induced. Maybe that'll help it function better. But we'll take a look at the targets here, guys. Again, I had it at a short indoor range, so I don't know that this really tells me much of anything. And I was standing. Sometimes I leaned over on the rail and supported a little bit. Mostly, I was just trying to check function, which, like I said, was an abysmal failure. So we started out. This was a sight and target. I was hitting down here initially. I moved it up until I was hitting there. So looking pretty good at sight in. My initial accuracy after sight in, where I moved it out to the full distance, I was still shooting a little bit to the low, or a little bit low and right for the majority of it. Good grouping in this area, as you can see. I started here and then I did move it up and I got back into the red again. I did drop one or two, but again, I wasn't super well supported, so that's on me and not the gun. And then I was just playing around. These were mostly offhand shots without supporting that left arm at all. Just trying to get rounds through it, work on function a little bit, and most of the time in between here I was clearing failures. So part of the reason I didn't get the greatest accuracy is because I was screwing around so much. But it's definitely, I think, an accurate barrel. Jury's still out on how accurate, jury's still out on function. So other than the failures I had, I am excited about the gun, still excited. Can't wait to get my suppressor in, get that on the end of it and see how it does with the suppressor. Definitely looking to put a different optic on it. In fact, I have an optic rail, or a Picatinny rail on the way, and I might throw my 1-to-6 power Vortex on there, or I might get something else for it, I'm not sure yet. So that about wraps it up here, guys, on the Ruger 1022 upgrade build to make it a suppressor host. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Keep those guns a-blazing. See ya.